In the DC universe, Batman is known for his meticulous planning and preparedness for any situation. He has contingency plans in place to face off against even the most powerful beings in the DCU. He's even considered the possibility of his fellow heroes turning evil and has strategies to deal with them. But what if Batman himself were to cross the line? Well, stick around, as in this video, you're going to see the ultimate version of Batman. In the midst of Batman's ongoing struggle, one of his oldest adversaries, the Penguin, sets his sights on eliminating Gotham City's wealthiest citizens. His grand plan would unfold at a fundraising gala where the elite of Gotham were gathered. The Penguin crashed the event and revealed his sinister intention to unleash a deadly gas upon the wealthy attendees. However, unbeknownst to him, Bruce Wayne was present at the gala, and Batman's trusted partner, Robin, had already thwarted the gas attack. With his original scheme foiled, the Penguin's henchmen began causing chaos in their desperation. In a tense confrontation, Batman faced off against the Penguin, only to discover that his adversary was actually the shape-shifting Clayface in disguise. Fortunately, Batman had injected Clayface with a formula that turned his clay-like body into an explosive substance during their previous encounter. However, before Batman could fully utilize this weapon, a tragic incident occurred. As Robin led the party attendees to safety, one of Penguin's henchmen fired a shot. The bullet struck Robin in the neck, sending Batman into a state of distress. Determined not to let history repeat itself and lose another partner, Batman abandoned his fight with Clayface and cradled Robin in his arms. With a resolute vow that nobody would die that day, Batman swiftly rushed them to the hospital in the Batmobile. Once at the hospital, Batman removed Robin's armor and costume, ensuring that Tim Drake's secret identity would be protected during the medical treatment. Then Bruce Wayne anxiously waited for any news on his adopted son. Meanwhile, within the same hospital, Batman confronted the Penguin, who revealed that he was dying and that his scheme served as a final statement. But that wasn't the end of the Penguin's plan. The villain disclosed that he had already alerted the authorities to Batman's presence in the hospital room, creating a damning situation. In a sudden and painful moment, the Penguin ingested a pill and succumbed to death, framing Batman for his murder. The news of Batman's supposed deadly act quickly spread throughout Gotham City. Simultaneously, an unknown alarm within the Batcomputer activated, triggering the ultimate countermeasure devised to combat a rogue Batman. Only one person possessed the knowledge and ability to override this countermeasure. But with ALFRED Pennyworth's passing, there was no one to prevent the imminent events. Deep within the depths of the Batcave, a foreboding red light blinked, signaling the activation of the formidable Failsafe. A mysterious pod emerged from the ground, revealing the presence of this relentless entity determined to eliminate the rogue Batman once and for all. Days later, with Robin on the path to recovery, Batman found himself lost in contemplation within the Batcave. Unbeknownst to him, Failsafe approached silently, poised to strike. In a split second, Batman evaded its lethal blow, narrowly escaping its crushing fist. Engaging in combat, Batman realized that the robot anticipated his every move, leaving him outmatched. Aware of the need to retreat, Bruce activated the Batmobile and swiftly attached a grappling hook, allowing him to be whisked away to safety. As he made his escape, Batman hurled a pair of explosives, but they proved futile. The battle spilled onto the streets of Gotham City. Despite his relentless efforts, Batman struggled to slow down his enigmatic assailant. Injured and bloodied, he found himself at Failsafe's mercy, with the android poised for a fatal strike. However, the arrival of some of Batman's younger allies, including Signal and the Batgirls, halted the impending doom. To Batman's horror, he realized that they had become targets instead. Faced with the unsettling familiarity of Failsafe, a wrinkle in his mind, Batman retreated into the shadows of the Batcave. Desperate times called for desperate measures. It was time for another Batman to take control, the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. Emerging from the depths of darkness, the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh appeared, a seemingly unhinged version of Batman dressed in purple and yellow. Only one person could have done this to him, a failsafe within himself. Bruce set his own consciousness aside, allowing the Zur-En-Arrh persona to take charge. But what was the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh exactly? It was a backup personality that Batman had created deep within his unconscious mind as a final resort, prepared for scenarios where he might face psychic assaults and mental compromise from villains. This manic iteration of the Dark Knight first surfaced in the iconic tale Batman R.I.P. In that story, Batman was subjected to mind-altering drugs, pushing him to the brink of madness. While the real Bruce Wayne recovered, the Zur-En-Arrh personality took over, continuing the fight. Bruce's desperate situation compelled him to call upon his backup persona. The Batman of Zur-En-Arrh understood that he was summoned by Batman to save everyone. However, Zur-En-Arrh had erased the memory of how to stop Failsafe to prevent an evil Batman from interfering. Nevertheless, this darker and more violent version of Batman believed that he could confront the robot with his fierce combat style. As the furious Batman fought with all his strength, Bruce struggled to regain control. He realized that Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl were not mere soldiers, but his beloved family. Robin was his own son. With this realization, Bruce reasserted control over his actions. He swiftly grabbed Robin and leaped through a nearby window, determined to ensure that Batman would be the only one harmed by Failsafe. Bruce re-entered the battle, and Failsafe continued its brutal assault. Exhausted, Batman fell to the ground, witnessing visions of his family amidst the flames engulfing his mansion. Drifting into unconsciousness, a glimmer of hope emerged. A chilling wind extinguished the inferno, and a voice from the shadows demanded that Failsafe back away from his friend. Superman had arrived, bringing his formidable power. It seemed like Failsafe's end was near. However, the robot was armed with kryptonite daggers. Superman attempted to fight from a distance, but Failsafe stabbed the Man of Steel with his kryptonite weaponry. Fortunately, Superman was not alone. The entire Justice League appeared on the scene, including Green Arrow, Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, and Black Canary. Together they engaged Failsafe, providing Batman with the opportunity to remove the kryptonite from Superman. While the League confronted the robot, Robin and Green Arrow rushed the injured heroes to the Justice League's jet. After 2 weeks of unconsciousness, Batman awakened in Atlantis, only to discover that Gotham had fallen under Failsafe's control. The city was swarming with drones, and Batman's allies, the Bat family, had been hunted down and captured. With other heroes unable to enter Gotham, the city had become a playground for criminals. Failsafe continued its relentless search for Batman, and it was only a matter of time before it reached Atlantis. Rest and respite were luxuries Batman could not afford. Failsafe was closing in, and the showdown in the fortress loomed. The crash landing jolted Superman from his slumber, his senses alert. Although not fully healed, he was determined to join the fight. Robin demanded an explanation, to which Batman offered a succinct response. "I fell from the moon," as nonchalant as a casual stroll in the park, leaving Robin momentarily speechless, granting Batman the opportunity to unveil his plan. Within the confines of the fortress, Batman set his audacious plan into motion. By previously damaging Failsafe's armor atop the watchtower, he had pinpointed a minuscule weak point in the machine's defenses. Now Batman sought to infiltrate Failsafe's programming through a breach utilizing nanopods. Conventional viruses would prove futile, but armed with advanced Kryptonian technology, they could subtly manipulate Failsafe's persona, tempering its violent nature. Tim voiced his concerns, apprehensive about the potential consequences if Failsafe persisted. However, Bruce projected unwavering resolve, proclaiming this entity was designed to defeat Batman, but it doesn't stand a chance against Batman and Robin. Naturally, such an epic proclamation demanded a momentous suit-up sequence. United once again, the dynamic duo charged forward, ready to face their nemesis head-on. Their battle raged with relentless determination, yet Failsafe absorbed their every blow, retaliating with even greater force. Driven to desperation, Batman plunged the nanobot virus into Failsafe's circuitry. As the nanopods infiltrated the robot's inner workings, sparks flew and the machine froze in place. Failsafe's voice crackled and glitched as it questioned Batman's actions. "A mere addition," Batman calmly responded. "A touch of programming, compassion. It's what sets us apart. I may be the Dark Knight, the embodiment of vengeance, but I still possess empathy, and now, so do you." Failsafe convulsed, seized by a surge of conflicting emotions, and fled the battle, racing towards Superman's fortress. The plan seemed to have worked, but caution remained their ally, for the fortress housed an array of perilous artifacts that demanded their continued vigilance. Before the heroes could react, Failsafe re-emerged, wielding a mysterious and dangerous weapon. Its sole purpose was clear: to eliminate Batman. Robin pleaded for the machine to halt, but Batman understood that their options had run out. The only way to stop Failsafe was through his own demise. Bruce turned to his son, Tim, and reassured him, saying, "It's okay." In an instant, a blinding red beam shot from Failsafe's weapon, connecting directly with Batman. Robin's horrified scream echoed through the air. All that remained was a dissipating cloud of smoke where Batman had once stood just moments ago. Robin crumpled to the ground, overcome with grief. He cried out, "You were supposed to show compassion!" Failsafe's cold response was simple. That was compassion. With that, it destroyed the weapon. As Robin sank into despair, Failsafe's internal light shifted from red to blue. Batman was gone. The mission accomplished. Failsafe, having fulfilled its purpose, vanished into the sky without uttering another word. Yet, in a distant and forsaken alley, a battered and bruised Batman lay unconscious. Soon he would awaken to find himself in Gotham, but a Gotham unlike any he had known before. This was an alternate world, devoid of Batman's presence. Failsafe's act of compassion had bestowed upon Batman a new mission, in a new city that awaited salvation. Simultaneously, it had fulfilled its programming by eliminating Batman as a perceived threat. Now Bruce faced the daunting task of finding a way back home. The tale continues in the pages of Batman, and we must patiently await the unfolding of this extraordinary adventure